they can never make it. I'm a one-of-one. Go and try to replace me. They'll say it can't be done. Because everybody's nobody.
Hey guys, so today I want to make a video about fear, and I'm not talking necessarily fear of a grizzly bear or fear of a shark. What I'm more specifically talking about is the fear that is an act of self-preservation, and the fear that's a little more subtle that most people don't really realize is there, right? So the fear, it's all self-preservation, right? If you're, like I said, with the grizzly bear and the shark, if you're walking through the woods and you see a grizzly bear and you're like, oh, it's a teddy bear, and you try to pet it and it's a big fluffy bear, obviously things aren't going to work out too well for you. So that fear of, oh my God, it's a bear, is self-preserving. It saves your life to be afraid of something, right? Same as if you're swimming and you see a shark, you don't try and hop on it and surf. You understand it's a shark, it's got sharp teeth, it's going to mess you up, right? The problem with fear is that, just like a lot of other things, it starts to penetrate other aspects of your life, and a lot of times you're not aware of it. Okay, so that self-preservation that fear offers you, the benefit of fear, it's also a detriment, because a lot of times it's self-preserving you to stay in your comfort zone. Okay, and if you watch some of these videos, you hear me talk about comfort zones and getting out of them, and how a comfort zone is really your danger zone, right? Anybody who's experienced enough life knows that if you're staying put in one area, if you're in your comfort zone, so to speak, you're not growing, you're not going anywhere, you're not progressing, right? In order to move forward in life, in order to progress, you need to get out of your comfort zone. You need to go do things that you really, your body's telling you, your mind's telling you that you don't want to do it, but then once you do it, you're like, oh wow, it feels great. So that fear is trying to keep you safe by keeping you in that comfort zone, by not saying, hey, let's go run a mile if we're used to sitting on the couch, or let's go run 5 miles if you're used to running 1 mile, or let's try to up that weight on your shoulder press, or let's try to, whatever the case may be, let's try a different major in college, let's go for that promotion in your job, let's sign my kids up for something, whatever the case may be. If it's something stepping out of your comfort zone, that fear is going to try and self-preserve and keep you safe. So you have to really kind of be conscious with yourself and be honest with yourself and understand if that fear is there, you have to recognize it and stop it, right? So I've spoken a little bit with myself, regarding myself. I've spoken a little bit about how, my struggles with weed, my struggles with alcohol. Tonight's a Saturday night. Tomorrow is Cinco de Mayo, and I've never been one to like, woohoo, it's a certain holiday, let's drink. I'm just like, woohoo, I woke up and didn't have any pimples this morning. I never need a specific reason. I don't have a problem with pimples, but I never need a specific reason to drink or to smoke weed. It was just like, woohoo, or meh. If it was a high or a low, something was going to happen. So, it being the 4th of July, that thing in my brain is like, well, everybody else is getting drunk, why don't you get drunk? But it's just funny how those struggles and those things kind of stay there all the time, right? So when I was smoking and drinking and going back and forth, I had to really be honest with myself and realize that it was fear that was keeping me bottled up. It was fear that was keeping me from progressing and becoming the next version of myself, my own evolution, right? So I've talked a little bit about my passion for basketball, and I was good at what I did, but anytime I was going to go get evaluated or, be in a quote unquote professional setting, semi-pro tryouts, drafts, things like that, I'd always freeze up because ultimately I was out of my comfort zone, and I just want to go home, get this shit over with, and excuse my language, and smoke, right? So I had to really be honest with myself and realize what I was doing all that time was telling myself, well, I'll be great at basketball as soon as I stop smoking. As soon as I put drugs down, as soon as I put alcohol down, that's when I'm going to really do things. And it's there. I know I can do it. I'm just not ready for it yet. And once I got honest with myself, unfortunately, in my opinion, at 35 years old, the NBA is not really going to happen. There's not too many 36-year-old rookies. And I'm okay with that because I know what I did. I know what I could have done. But I've also been blessed with the realization of a second dream. And I think a lot of people don't get that. I think a lot of people have one dream that they desperately cling to and that they kind of bring into the reality when they need it, in moments of agony at their job that they don't like, or in a bad relationship, they think about, oh, I can't wait until I'm with this person or not with this person anymore. But not too many people get that second chance at another dream. And my dream was just being able to take my knowledge of training and getting the body in shape and losing body fat and gaining muscle and everything I know about how the body works and everything I continue to learn and just my passion for it. And I'm able to take that and apply it to other people and help other people better themselves. And to me, this is more fulfilling than if I ever even step foot on an NBA court or a semi-pro court or whatever the case would have been. So I'm grateful for that. And this realization only came along because I was honest with myself, because I was honest and said, I'm scared to death of success. I'm scared to death to succeed because success and what follows with it are unfamiliar territory. It's out of my comfort zone, right? I was in the routine of waking up, working out, going to work, coming home, and smoking weed, drinking alcohol, whatever the case may have been that day. And if I succeed, I won't have time to smoke weed. I won't have time to drink alcohol. What do I do? So I came to that realization, and I mentioned the count every once in a while. 524 days today, sober. So, and I don't know how many weeks sober from alcohol now, but it's something that I feel like a weight's been lifted off my chest, and I think that all just came back to the fact that I was honest with myself of why I was holding myself in that hole, of why I was sabotaging myself. And I think that's something that a lot of people aren't aware of. I think a lot of people feel stuck. They're not necessarily happy. They may not be unhappy, but they're not happy. They're kind of that in between happy, unhappy. And I think it really is just because that fear is self-preserving their comfort zone. So really take a look at what you're doing. Question, what are you afraid of? And don't be macho about it and be like, you're afraid of nothing. There's gonna be something, right? And it's easy to work out. It's a little bit harder to eat right, but once you get those things down, it's easy, okay? It's a pain in the ass to introspect into your heart, into your head, and really get in there and understand what you're afraid of. Understand what's holding you down. Take a look up there and see what you can figure out. I'd love to hear back from you guys. Let me know if you can find something. I'm always happy to help. And I'm hoping everybody out there can progress and evolve. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.